I don't know why I chose today to wake up and torture myself by reading 1-star reviews of my favorite book, but alas, we are here. I just want to be clear, these 1-star reviews, I've given all these books 5 stars. There's a little pile here behind me. I don't know why I want to do this, but I just thought it would be funny. Probably gonna break my heart. Shall we start? Let's start with the big one, okay? If you're watching my channel, then you probably have read this book. Stephanie Garber's books. Look, here's Jax with a little white apple there and a little sign that says, "Welcome to the Great Marywood Manor." I love her Once Upon a Broken Heart series. So let's actually read 1-star reviews from The Ballad of Never After, which is book 2. Book 3 is coming out, which I'm so stoked for. Let's see here. Oh, this is a good one. This is courtesy of Jonathan. Thank you, Jonathan. He said, "The only good thing this book did was remind me to dye my hair pink again." I did that. I don't think that's a bad thing at all. But he continues to say, "I'm still baffled this is classified as YA. I have read picture books more intense than this. The writing is just like, this forest is so much magic and fairy tale. Like, wow, much magic, much fairy tale. What's a man supposed to do with that? I'm not really one to vividly imagine book settings, but at least give me something." Oh my God, he wrote a long review, but at the end, this is amazing. Jonathan said, "They should rebrand this book and target it to toddlers who don't have object permanence yet. I think that's about the same developmental level Evangeline is at 1 star." Oh my God. Okay, here's another one. This person said, and they're quoting the book here, quote, "A tormented scream pierced the night like a blade." All capital letters, so they're really feeling this. "It was me who screamed. I was the scream. The scream was me. Right after I finished the stupidity that was encapsulated within the pages of this book." That's so funny. My mom hated Caraval, so I think she would also feel this way. Well, that was gut-wrenching, so let's also torture myself with Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. Love this book. It's about Elizabeth, who works at this like magical library. She takes care of magical tomes, all her personalities, and she like has to hook up with this sorcerer to save the world, Nathaniel. I loved it. Let's see why people hated it. Sarah said, "Y'all, I have really no idea what happened in this book. It was so slow, boring, and far too much detail about unnecessary things. It felt like a mix of Belle from Beauty and the Beast mixed with a dollar store version of Harry Potter." What? Is it because it's magic? Is that why it's Harry Potter? Belle like never worked in the library. She just liked to read. I don't know. Okay, thank you for that one. Oh, Amanda said, "If you're looking for a book with shallow and passive characters, dialogue that lacks any substance, and a non-existent plot, Sorcery of Thorns is the book for you. If you're looking for a good book, stay away from Sorcery of Thorns." Wow, she has a very long, very detailed review, a lot of bolded capital letters, but my favorite part is down at the end. "This was awful and I hated every second I wasted reading this book. Elizabeth can choke. Do yourself a favor and stay away from this mess of a book." And then she put a little screenshot of Mint from Animal Crossing that said, "I asked for something cool, ... and this is not it." I appreciate this review just for the Animal Crossing reference. You know what we should do next? Kingdom of the Feared by Carrie Maniscalco. This is the lowest rated book, I think, of her 3 in this series. This is where it gets like really adult and smutty and fun, and I love Daddy Wrath, okay? But not everyone's gonna love Daddy Wrath. Let's see. Someone said, "My favorite part was when it ended." And there are 149 likes on that. "Giving 1 star isn't enough. I need Carrie Maniscalco to stop writing." 116 likes. That's so mean. Oh my God. Someone said, "Anyone who says it's good is lying to you." That's me. I'm lying to you. This person said, quote, "His skin was soft as silk, but his arousal was stronger than steel," end quote. And this, unfortunately, sums up everything you need to know about this waste of money right here. What was she trying to say? Well, I can tell you what she was trying to say with that quote. "Did she enjoy killing trees? I wonder if this line was sounding poetical." Poetical. in her mind. Get me out, I'm begging you, get me out. Go back to writing YA, we've had enough. Oh my. Someone said, it's so bad I want to give you a 0, but that's not possible, so I give you a 1. If that's hell, I definitely do not want to go there. Hallelujah, I'm done. You don't want to go to her hell? I think hell in this series is a fun time, okay? Let's do The Bridge Kingdom by Danielle L. Jensen. I read this when it first came out and I loved it. It's enemies to lovers. It's about this princess who has to marry this guy who's an enemy, but she's supposed to kill him at the same time they fall in love. Okay, you know the plot, right? I loved it. It's new adult. Not everyone loved it though. 1% of people on Goodreads did not like this book. They gave it 1 star. Someone said, this just made me want to jump off a bridge. Someone else said, there is more chemistry between me and jumping off a bridge than there is between the main character and the love interest. Why? People. Hannah said, how the heck this actually gets given 5 stars is beyond me. Not only was it super cliche with literally no unique or original aspect to the plot, but we have people who are supposed to pass as, quote, characters, when my trash bags are more developed and have more personality than these guys. Oh no! Someone said, stop recommending books with 0 character depth, please. The main character has the personality of a soup spoon and the love interest judgment is based on his small dick energy. Thanks, but no. Let's do it from Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Oh god, let's see what people have said about this. I can only guess. This person said, this book is Twilight on weed. I like that. I like that a lot. Nellie said, really shitty world building, but you know what? I like the sex scenes enough to want to read the next book, not gonna lie. 1 star. Someone said, I saw so many people hype this up as vampire enemies to lovers book. Spoiler, it wasn't that. What do you mean? It's exactly that. It's a vampire enemies to lovers book. Let's do one of my favorite new books of this year, Trial of the Sun Queen by Nisha J. Twilley. I think I know why people aren't gonna like this book, but let's find out, okay? This person, bookish, said it's a ripoff of Throne of Glass, the trials part, ACOTAR, Fae, Light King, Dark King. The selection doesn't even come close to the selection in terms of quality, which is hilarious to me because I hated the selection and I read that when it came out. At least I like Maxon. The Sun King is just sleazy, and the Gilded Prisoner, Plated Prisoner, parentheses, all that gold. I hated that book as equally as I hate this one. I think it's like really interesting when people say something is a ripoff of another book, because you know what? The selection did not invent a bachelor scenario. Sarah J. Maas did not invent the Fae, and Throne of Glass did not invent a competition or a magical trial. Like, y'all, okay. Someone said, I am most certain that I have just read a Wattpad entry. I love Wattpad, I miss it. Should I download Wattpad again? Ooh, I know that the Plated Prisoner series, it has some big 1-star reviews. I've seen booktubers who I really admire and usually like their taste give this book 1 star. And I can see why. I'm fairly certain what kind of 1-star reviews I'm gonna see, but let's look it up. Oh yeah, bigger percentage, 3%. The others have been around 1% of 1-star reviews, 3%. Okay. This person said, I am at 30% honestly hoping the main character dies. That is not a good thing. No, it is. It's not a good thing. Someone said, I'm disgusted with all men in this book except for Commander Rip and his 4th army. Yeah, that's the point. The point is that men suck in this series. I mean, he understood the assignment. Someone said, this book was written so the author could say the C word, and not be judged. That's it. Raven Kennedy really said, I wish I could say the C word, so I'm gonna write a 5-book series. Someone wrote a love letter to Aaron, the main character. Dear Aaron, fuck you and your annoying personality and your stupid kingdom and your boring ass plot and the way you fucking talk and your weird obsession with your captor and all the shit you talking about that made no fucking sense at all. I hated this. Rotten hell. Turn into a statue or something. Let's do one more. Okay, let's do The Bronze Horseman by Paulina Simon. I don't have a physical copy here on this shelf, but I read this years ago and I loved it. This is a historical fiction novel. If you haven't heard of it, it's a romance. It's a trilogy. The Bronze Horseman is the first one. It's set in Soviet Russia during World War II. So the characters are actually Russian, which is not a point of view that I've ever read from before. It's usually, you know, on the side of the good side. But anyway, Paulina Simon, she was actually born in Leningrad, USSR. So she is from Russia, immigrated to the United States, learned English, and became a writer. So I think that's phenomenal. I gave this book 5 stars. Heather said, "Oh, what fresh hell. I thought this book would never, ever end. I never knew how important perfect white teeth could be, that there was such a thing as a slight case of TB, that this many mentions of blueberries could be squeezed into a single book, or that I could ever get bored with / buy sex. But these things have all been achieved by Bronze Horseman. She even manages to throw in some scurvy." The description in this book is endless. Buses, walks, dinners, ice cream, cabbage, love session. Buses, walks, dinners, ice cream, cabbage, love session. On and on it goes for hundreds of pages. I'm at a loss. Are we supposed to be blown away by Miss Simmons' ability to convey the monotony of everyday life? I think that's really interesting because, like, this whole book is about this family, you know, being blockaded in Soviet Russia, and they starve to death and they freeze to death and they're losing this war. So yeah, cabbage and walks and dinners kind of is what happened. This book was horrid, the characters were laughable, and if I never see a blueberry again, it will be too soon. Same goes for cabbage. I don't remember the cabbage and the blueberries being like a big thing, but I do remember that the main character had an ice cream, because I remember it being cute. Someone else wrote a very long review, and then at the end said, "Anyway, if you're a bored housewife that needs some cheap, shallow, and low quality thrills, go ahead and read this book. Anyone else? Beware." Oh my god, someone said, "Take Twilight, subtract vampires, change Bella's name to Tatia, up her to Mary Sue by tenfold, change Edward's name to Shura, make him even more controlling, set them in World War II Russia, and presto, you have the Bronze Horseman." I had high hopes for this book, but it's on the same level as Twilight? I guess the only exception is the sex is actually described in this book, although it goes on the opposite end of the spectrum. After what seemed like the 100th page of Tatia and Shura having sex, my eyes started to glaze over and I began to skip around to find when the book actually got to the plot, which was also dull and contrived, but also highly, highly, highly improbable. If I could go back in time and spend the time I spent reading this book reading a good book, I'd do it in a split second. It's interesting that people are complaining about the number of times there's a smutty scene in this book, but I don't remember that. I remember the Russian backdrop, and I remember like the way the characters were described when they were starving and freezing to death, which is like clearly what this author's family experienced, and I could like viscerally feel her descriptions and it, like the gut-wrenching heartache that was this book. I don't remember the love scenes. Someone said whoever told me this was one of the best books they have ever read needs to read more. That's me. Hi, my name is Ragan. Well, there we have it. Some of my favorites. 1-star reviews. If you'd like to see me suffer again, sure, I'll do a part 2 for you. But wow, that was funny. That was funny. I should say that before I started this video, I did look up 1-star reviews for A Court of Silver Flames, which is my favorite book of all time. But people who give it 1 stars on Goodreads, I can't speak for Amazon or Google reviews because I haven't even dived in there yet. People are writing in-depth analytical analysis of like the craft itself of Sarah J Maas's writing style, her use of plot devices, and like literally one review took me 25 minutes to read. So like I can't even go into that book or that series anytime soon. But anyway, thanks so much for watching. If you made it to in this video, let me know what is a book that you gave 1 star. Was it one of the books in my pile here? I'd love to know that and why you gave it 1 star. And yeah, drop a horse emoji for the Bronze Horseman down below if you made it in this video so I can thank you in the comments, and I will see you in another one very soon. Bye!